That's right, 17 times. You read that correctly. I'm gonna tell you the whole story in this video, and I'm also gonna tell you about my very first real estate deal I did almost 20 years ago. This is gonna be a good video you're not gonna wanna miss. Welcome back to the channel. I am Mike, and yes, I am from Louisiana. In this video, I'm going to get into the time machine and bring you back almost 20 years ago to the very first deal I ever did. I'm actually gonna take you to the house, show you what it looks like today, and I'm gonna give you all the details on this house I sold 17 times. Stay tuned and hang on, because I'm actually going to show you a video and a picture of the house. I went there the other day and took some pictures of this thing. Before we get into the video, I would greatly appreciate if you would like the video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you get all the future videos. My purpose here on this YouTube channel is to educate the new guys and new girls on real estate. The ones just getting started, those are the people that I love. The people that are just starting their first deal, or maybe have their first deal under their belt, but they're still a little nervous. If you are that person and you're watching this video, you are definitely in the right place. Okay, so let's get into my very first deal that I paid $2,000 for. I had no money down in the deal, and I sold it 17 times over the course of my ownership of the house. So let's go back to the beginning. 2003 is where it all started for me, looking for my first deal. But before I could even think about buying anything, there were a couple of things that I had to get in order. Number one, I needed to know what I was doing. And so I needed to educate myself. So I was given or lent a little course called Deals on Wheels by Lonnie Scruggs. The great Lonnie Scruggs in those cassette tapes taught me everything I needed to know about doing mobile home owner finance deals. Now, I don't have that tape cassette course anymore. I gave it back, but I learned so much from it. I mean, it was before the days of apps, and we were doing stuff on financial calculators. It was crazy. I had to learn some things that I never knew before, and I had to stretch myself. Plus the fact that I would come home from work, working 60 hours a week, I would sit in bed and I would open up this cassette course, put on my headphones and turn it on and follow along with the manual, and I would listen while my wife was sleeping. If you're gonna get something you've never had before, you're gonna have to do something you've never done. You know what? A lot of us, we get this knowledge and we do nothing with it. Some of us will take this knowledge and we will actually act on it. So that's the difference between the successful and the unsuccessful, is the doing. Okay, so here's my next hurdle. I didn't have any money. So I went down to the local bank and asked them if they would give me a line of credit, some money. They said, sure, because you have decent credit, we'll give you a $10,000 unsecured line of credit. Now, what is an unsecured line of credit? It basically means that there's no security, nothing backing it. Like if I don't pay it back, basically the bank is out of that money. Not that I would ever want to do that, but that's basically what it means. Now, $10,000 is not a lot of money. I mean, not even in 1993 when all this was happening. But what I did have was some knowledge, and I knew exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for a cheap mobile home. And that's what led me to the mobile home park, where I posted a sign by the mailbox that said, I'm looking for mobile homes and I will pay cash. So after a couple days, I got a phone call, and the park manager called me and said, hey, I got a little mobile home over here, 2-bedroom, 1-bath for $2,000. And I'm gonna show you this place in just a minute, so hang on, because it's gonna be worth it. But I went ahead and bought that place. I was so scared. $2,000 to me at that moment felt like $1 million. It was the first time I had ever bought anything. I had all these thoughts running through my head. Will this even work? Is this course a scam? Am I like stupid? Am I crazy? Am I like way out of my league here? I went ahead and took a step of faith, and I did it, because I knew if I wouldn't step out and do something, that I would never do anything. So I took a leap and I bought the little 2-bedroom, 1-bath mobile home in that mobile home park. I would love to sit here and tell you that this thing was immaculate, but it wasn't. It was infested with roaches. It was disgusting. It had holes in the wall and had a few repairs that needed to be done. So what did I do? I hired a company to come and do all the work. No, I was the company that was gonna do the work. That's right, I got in there and I vacuumed up and cleaned up all those roaches and I threw the vacuum away. And then I went to work. I didn't know how to repair holes in the wall, so I went ahead and got some wainscot and I just put it against the wall and I tacked it on. I wasn't even good with a hammer, but there I was with a little hammer and saw, sawing away, doing my very first deal. And I was there till like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night because I had to make this work. I had money invested, I had skin in the game. This was going to work if it was the last thing I ever did. Okay, so hang in there because I'm about to show you this ugly asset that I just purchased and I just cleaned up. I was so proud that I had my first little place, and now time was of the essence because I had a note due on that $10,000 line of credit. So I had to get this thing sold fast, and that's what I did. I put me a little sign in the front yard, and I also put something in the local Thrifty Nickel, which is like a really cheap magazine that they give away for free. I put something in there saying, hey, I've got a mobile home, owner finance, no banks, no credit, low money down, low payments, and the phone started ringing. So I sold this mobile home for $6,000, $500 down, $500 a month. At this moment, I was like, holy monkey, this is actually going to work. $500 a month. I know that doesn't seem like a whole lot, but back then it was to me. And on this deal, it actually worked. So the lot rent in that place was about $100 a month. And then I also had a note on my line of credit, which was about $75, $80 a month. So that left $320 a month cash flow over from the deal. Not bad for a little mobile home. Now, if we had Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all these things back then, I guess this is the point where I would have been posting my pictures, my selfies in front of the mobile home, holding stacks of cash, being like, I'm a real estate investor now, yo, and look at all these stacks and stacks I got. But no, that's not what happened. In a couple of months, this guy, probably about 8 months, he decided that he didn't want to work anymore and he stopped paying his notes. Now, let me stop right here because when I tell people about investing in real estate or owner finance or mobile homes or something like that, they're always asked the same question. What if they stop paying? I even asked myself the same question, but I found out it was actually the best thing that could ever happen. Now, I'm not rooting for someone to not pay their note, but if they do, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I got another person very quickly, put another down payment, another monthly payment. And that person lasted a few months, and then the cycle continued. Another down payment, another monthly payment, another down payment. So over the next 7 years, I had welders, single moms, single dads, strippers, cooks, all kind of sorts of people that were coming through, and they were giving me a down payment and a monthly payment. And everybody lasted a short amount of time. I really wanted somebody to stay and pay the whole thing off. Now, this went on for 7 years, and before I knew it, I had sold this thing 17 times to 17 different people. I wasn't expecting to do this, it just happened. Finally, in 2010, I was done with this asset. There was no cabinets, no toilet left from the last person who was in it. I was like, oh my gosh, I really don't want to put any money into this asset and fix it up, so I'm gonna sell it to someone who does. And that's exactly what I did. 7 years later, the mobile home that I bought for $2,000, I sold it to a lady for her son to fix up and live in for $2,000. I'm not a mathematician, but I can't even figure out what rate of return I had on that mobile home, selling it 17 times and getting 17 down payments and monthly payments over the course of 7 years. I definitely paid that $2,000 loan off very quickly and many times over. Now, the purpose of this video is not to try to get you to go out and do the same thing. No, I would not suggest you selling a home 17 times. But this is an extreme situation where it happened, and that means 16 people stopped paying me. But it was okay because the worst case scenario of someone not paying me happened 16 times, and I came out smelling like a rose. All right, we're getting ready to look at this little sucker. I'm gonna show you what it looks like today. You know, when I bought it, it was a little, older trailer, and now it's even more aged. But before I do, I want to tell you this. The biggest things I learned in this experience by just stepping out and doing my first deal. I mean, at one point I had 15 of these deals going because once I figured out I could do it, I was off to the races. I mean, I got huge confidence off of just doing my very first deal, stepping out and making it happen. Number two, I learned how to deal with people. Probably not the best group of renters or rent-to-owners you could deal with, but I was learning how to deal with these people, and when they wouldn't pay me, I had to figure out what to do. It gave me great people skills. I was learning money management because I had to learn that when I got the payments every month, I didn't just go blow it on something. I had to pay my obligations and make sure I cash flowed on the deal. And then I was also learning about accounting and taxes because you have to pay taxes. And I also learned that you can depreciate these things just like a regular house. So it was helping me and saving me lots of money on my tax bill every year. Okay, so let's see my little mobile home 19 years later, 12 years after I sold it. She's still there making money for someone else's asset. Now this thing looks nothing like when I owned it. It actually looks a whole lot worse, if you can believe it or not. When I owned it, it was getting pretty shabby. When I bought it, it actually looked pretty decent, but it's just been through some stuff. You know, it's been through 2 hurricanes and it's just been through a rough life. But it just goes to show you that an asset doesn't have to be pretty. In the lowest form, it can even be very profitable and make you money. Again, I'm not telling you to go out and buy a really ugly little mobile home. This was my experience, a guy who had no money, was starting at the very bottom with no money down and just wanted to get out and do a deal so bad that I went and found a little mobile home and I proved to myself that I could do it. Huge confidence builder. I really appreciate you watching this video. Again, I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel, click on the notification bell so you get all the future videos. I love helping new investors, especially real estate investors. And I think I got a few things I could show you. I don't know everything. I'm not a guru or anything like that. I don't claim to be. I'm just a guy who's been doing it for 20 years. And if you would like to have a little bit of the knowledge that's in my head, I started this YouTube channel to show you and help you. Again, I'm Mike and I am from Louisiana. I hope you have a wonderful day and God bless you.